Hi, this is Tammi Morrison, and I am a spiritual teacher, mentor, intuitive channel, seer, transformational speaker, author, and Reiki energy jewelry creator. I know it is a mouthful, but those are a lot of the things that I am. And of course, there are other things that I am. I am also a clairvoyant. I'm also a clairaudient, claircognizant channel. My mission on the planet is to assist folks in connecting to the deepest parts of their soul, accessing their intuition and the peace that they've been seeking, give them life freedom. And so how I do that is I do that through sessions, working with people, using energy healing tools that I have learned over the years, also using my own powerful intuition. And so I have a program right now that I'm filling, Preparing for Your Crown. It is a mentorship program, and right now it is a 6-week mentorship program. I'm looking at expanding it into maybe 6 months or maybe even quarterly. But right now it is 6 weeks. And so I'm taking applications for that right now. The cost of it is $22.22. And I also have, I'm going to put PayPal, paying for on my website. And also I offer payment plans if you need that. So again, Preparing for Your Crown is my 6-week mentorship program that is happening now. If you are especially on your journey of spiritual awakening, I'm speaking to you. If you are coming from religion into spirituality, I am speaking to you. So if you are ready to invest in yourself and ready to shake some things up in your environment and begin to seriously and deeply connect to the deepest parts of your soul so that you can connect to your own powerful intuition and receive the peace that you are looking for, giving you also freedom as far as time and life and all the things. So if that is something that you are looking for, reach out to me. You can reach me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me right here on Spotify. You can also send me a message right here on Spotify. I didn't even realize that. So if that is where you are in your life and you are looking for somebody that understands you, especially if you're coming from religion, because I came from deep religion, from Pentecostal holiness in the South. So if you understand that, you know what I'm talking about. So if you are coming from that space and your gifts are opening up and you're wanting to connect with your archetypes and you're wanting to connect with spirit, source, universe, God, whatever you call him, her, or them, reach out to me and let's get you set up and started. Thank you so much. Bye.
Welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet.
Thank you so much for joining us on Straight Out of Savannah. My guest, Kennarae Thomas, is here, and I am just super excited to have this conversation. So, Kennarae, introduce yourself and let the people know what it is that you do.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much, Tammi. And what a pleasure to be here and to be here with you.
Absolutely.
So I am a wife and mother and entrepreneur, a successful business owner. I also have a nursing background, a registered nurse, and that's the initial business that I built is legal nurse consulting when I first started learning about business and became very successful in it within the first year. And then what I really loved and what I'm patterning over and shifting over to is coaching entrepreneurs how to be successful, and particularly in the area of creating above average results or miraculous results. And so setting out a vision, an inspired vision for your business, moving towards that with inspired action, and then allowing the results to amplify and multiply and be strengthened above what you normally would expect. And it's really fun. So in a nutshell, and my group, the name says it all: online entrepreneurs who love miracles.
Oh gosh, that is so amazing. And that is exactly how I found Kennarae, because her group inspired me. I love that because I love miracles. And I feel like,
Mhm.
we can get them every day. Actually, I feel like we do get them every single day,
Yeah.
but we don't always recognize, we don't always realize that that is what it is, because, we've been so conditioned and brainwashed to think of, you know, a miracle to be something that is super, super grand and all that stuff. But I mean, it's a miracle every day when you wake up
Yeah,
in the morning,
that's
you
true.
know?
And what I didn't expect is I knew that it would be a really great group and everything, but so many inspiring people showing up, heart-centered, inspiring entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And at our events, they're connecting in fun, such as the virtual dinner parties. And what I've noticed is at the end, everyone lingers. A lot of people just linger and want to stay in that space because it's a sense of belonging. A lot of entrepreneurs feel lonely, or
Yes.
especially faith-based entrepreneurs, or entrepreneurs who and not any particular religion, but who acknowledge a higher power.
Right.
And so
In spirituality.
coming
Yeah.
so coming in together like that, they just crave it. And I
Yeah.
do too. I walk away inspired and just really impressed and honored to be part of this community.
Yes. Yes. And you can feel it when you go in there. It's amazing because I was looking at, I was talking to Kennarae in the green room, and so I was saying that I was looking at my Facebook groups, and I was like, I need to get out of some because, I feel like if you're in it and you're not really participating, it probably brings the algorithm down. And
Uh-huh.
so I say, I need to get out of these groups that I'm not participating in, and I need to see, what groups that I can participate in, because, I believe in going where you celebrate it, not tolerate it.
Um,
And
yeah,
so
beautifully
when
said.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. I mean, why would you want to be somewhere that, you're just tolerated?
Yeah.
Why don't you go somewhere where you celebrate it? Because there are all these spaces. But I love the fact that, you brought that out, because a lot of people would be afraid to actually put that out there and say, online entrepreneurs who love miracles, and what,
Yeah.
what inspired you to create that group?
Well, I've loved I've actually certified as a coach over 10 years ago. I loved that, but I couldn't ever figure out the marketing. And so I
Yes.
stuck with the nursing and then creating my own business around nursing, legal nurse consulting. But I've always loved that sense of coaching and
Yes.
mentoring and helping. And when I was thinking, I through service, actually, I ran into a mentor who's very successful and creates win-win-win situations. He has, his marketing is called Love Thy Neighbor Marketing. And I thought, oh,
That's so
that's
nice.
someone that I would love to learn marketing from. And so in learning and starting to learn from him, I just dusted off that old dream of helping. And originally my coaching business was called Thriving Women Today. And I just wanted to help every woman thrive worldwide.
Yes, yes.
And that's a pretty big market. So
Yeah.
my mentor, he was teaching me narrow it down a little bit. And so I wanted to see, okay, what am I really good at specifically? What's something that is really that I can really coach and teach at? Um, and I realized over my life, I have been able to consistently create miraculous results. And I gave you the example of starting my own business. Within the first few months of as a brand new business owner with legal nurse consulting, I was able to miraculously hook up and be introduced to one of the top legal firms of the nation, top legal nursing firms of the nation. And I interviewed with them and they wanted to hire me as a subcontractor. And within that year, I became their lead trainer.
Wow.
And yeah. So just above and
Well, that's
beyond.
already miracles right there. 1 year?
Yeah, within the first year, their lead trainer, and I spent a lot of time on my knees, by the way, throughout that year, trying to figure out how to be a great legal nurse consultant, and then and taking the mentoring and learning and then applying it each and every case. And so it took effort on my part, but at the same time, it felt like heaven and earth was just combining together to bring these miraculous results.
Yes.
And I could see that consistently in different areas of my life. I mentioned that I was a nurse, and one of the first times that I remember bringing miracles into my life was as a recent nurse graduate. And what does a beginning nurse do? Well, they typically get the bottom of the barrel,
Yep.
nighttime shifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was working 12-hour nighttime shifts, the middle of the night, from 6 at night, 6 in the morning.
Yep.
And doing that, and working hard. But what I didn't realize after a few years into that, I received labs back from a physical, and they were all whacked, especially thyroid. Everything was just off. And I didn't realize the impact that it was having on my health.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, boy, if this is happening to me in my early 20s, what's it going to be like
When you get in your 40s or 50s?
10 years of nighttime shifts,
Mm-hmm.
And so I determined right then and there that I wouldn't do another nighttime shift. And I remember sitting with my sister and saying, I was at her home and saying, well, if I'm going to keep on working as a nurse, I want to have just one patient, and I want to have that patient be from a really nice, wealthy family. And while I'm at it, I want to be their vacation nurse. I want to go on vacations with them and be their nurse while they go on vacations. And she laughed. She's all, well, good luck with that,
Right.
I had
Sounds like a good dream.
Yeah, keep dreaming. I had no networks. I was a new nurse. I didn't have any contacts or any idea. I was like, do I post that on Craigslist? No one would.
Right.
It was that old, and trying to figure it out. Well, so I just started with prayer and thought. I just started taking action. So I just started talking about it. And wouldn't you know it, within 2 weeks, I was talking about it at a community event. And a college age student came up to me and said, you know what? Such and such family they're looking for a nurse. Would you like to interview with them? Well, such and such family, and I don't get to say their name to keep confidentiality, but they were known nationwide and worldwide. They were very well known, and they were very well known in the area where I was practicing as a nurse. And so I thought, are you kidding? I would love that. And so that very night, I walked away with the phone number to their personal assistant, was interviewed by them within that week, and was hired on as one of they needed some temporary nurses for round the clock care. So I was hired on as one of the nurses. Well, I served and worked and was delighted. And within 1 week, 2 weeks after that, then the man of the house came up and he handed me a piece of paper and he said, Kennarae, you're kind, caring, competent, and capable. We really appreciate you as a nurse. Here are the dates of our upcoming vacations. Would you please be our nurse for our vacations? And you should have seen, I think I scared him. I said, well, and I went all excited about that.
That is awesome. So you manifested exactly what you asked for.
Yep. He just smiled and he said, and he was religious, but he said, you spiritually created that. You spiritually created that before bringing it about in real life and physical. And so I was a vacation nurse for them with one patient, a really nice family, went to country clubs with them as their nurse, went on vacations with them as their nurse, did all kinds of great things in serving this wonderful family. So that was one of my first experiences, learning within 3 weeks with no contacts as a lowly graveyard nighttime nurse, to be able to bring miraculous results. And that was miraculous. That was beyond what I could do myself.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
super. I
Yep.
mean, just hearing the oh my gosh, even hearing the story of it, I really feel like you need to write a book.
Oh, you know what? I actually was invited to write a group book with coaches, and I included that story because I was like, I really like that story. It ties it in beautifully.
Yes,
I agree with manifestation, and The Secret, and all these different things, the laws of consciousness,
yes,
and quantum physics. And I just
yes,
like to say spiritual creation. And at the same
yes,
time, I also know that it takes action on our part.
yes,
And I like to call it inspired action, taking
yes,
the inspired action. And
yes,
so working together with spiritually creating and then taking inspired action towards what you spiritually create,
mm-hmm.
it's just the magnifies and amplifies the results. And I've seen that time and time and time again
Yes.
in my life. And that's what I'm teaching. That's what I'm coaching.
I was gonna say that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that sounds like what it is that you enjoy, what lights you up, because your whole face just changed
You
as you
can
were
see
talking
it.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it. Well, it's so fun. People don't realize it's exciting and new because people don't realize the power and ability that they have to really bring in miracles into their life and business.
Yes. Yes.
And then at the same time, this principle is as old as time itself, and
Yeah.
the principle is spiritual creation always happens before physical creation.
Yes.
Yeah, and it
Because
may
it's
be subconscious,
yeah.
but spiritual creation always happens first.
Right. So it's like every time I think about Abraham Hicks, I think about Abraham Hicks when she says,
Oh yeah.
it's in the vortex, and it's wild because my mother actually will call me and say that I'll send her a message about something and she'll say, well, it's already in your vortex. And I used to get so irritated about that because I'm like, I know it's in my vortex, but can it be like right here, right now?
Yep.
but, but that's amazing because you know what? The fact that you actually were able to look at that and quantify that. Because
Yeah.
just like I said, miracles happen every day.
Yeah.
We just don't always recognize and we don't always realize that is what is happening. But they do. Every day we, experience miracles.
Mhm. It's
You
so
know,
true. It's so true. And I found if a good principle around miracles is treat miracles like a good friend. And if I wanted to grow a friendship and continue to build our friendship, Tammi, would it help if I said, well, Tammi doesn't exist. She doesn't exist. Or Tammy's not in my life. No, that cuts off the relationship and it doesn't do anything to build a friendship. But
yes.
in growing the friendship with you, acknowledging you, appreciating you,
Mm-hmm.
valuing you, writing down
Right. Being
experiences
grateful.
together and enjoying. Yeah. Similarly, if I hear someone say, well, miracles don't exist or miracles don't happen in my life, I sometimes reflect, I wonder if they treated like miracles like a dear friend, what would start showing up in their life?
Mm.
Acknowledging, and it can be small miracles or big ones, but
Yeah.
acknowledging the people say serendipity, or you're just so lucky, or you're just in the right place, the right time, or you just happen to know the right person. It's not luck, it's created. We
Yep.
create it, spiritually create it, and take action towards it. And likewise, in appreciating that process and appreciating miracles, writing down the miracles that you see day by day,
Yeah.
it really it really is a delight to see those blossom and grow and see more and more come into your life.
Man, that's so powerful. I just love that. I geek out on this stuff.
Isn't it fun? It really is.
It is. It is. And it's like, for me, I started calling in the people in my life that I needed, so that I could geek out on this stuff. Because, you can't talk to everybody about this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I started calling that in because I was like, I need some like-minded people, as they say. And and I started calling them in. And so now people have showed up, and most of them, I have one girl that's local where I am. And I actually met her online. But we live 9 minutes away. And we found out we lived 9 minutes away. We were like, oh my God, so. But yeah.
Wow.
Right. But most everybody else is online because that's where you find your people, it seems like, and it's like, man, but that just like, that took me right. Like I could just see it like a miracle journal.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
I could just see that because it's like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that part, writing it down as much
Yep.
as, everybody's doing the manifesting thing where you're scripting or you're, doing a 3-6-9 or whatever. What do you think about some of those ways as well to manifest? Because I like the way you did it. You just spoke that thing out. I like it.
I know, to my sister in the living room.
Yeah,
I,
and
you know,
that's amazing. I love that. And that
mhm.
that's like a Neville Goddard technique too.
Oh, well, I love that, and I'm similar to you. I could geek out on this stuff all day long. I can
It's just so fun.
So I take it all. I think there's a lot of truth with a lot of these different theories, and they seem to have an underlying thread, of the power that we have to create as
Yes.
creators.
Yes.
And so I glean those truths from anywhere that I can, and see the patterns and see the underlying thread that goes throughout. And then I also like to simplify it, say, okay, this is spiritual creation, and it can be verbally, spiritually creating, also writing it out. I love that,
Yes.
writing out an inspired vision. And one thing that has really helped me these last few years, and I teach this to our members and clients as well, is movement in spiritual creation. And as a nurse, this makes a lot of sense. If you're walking or running, you're getting that cardiovascular system going, the blood's going up to your brain, and more clear thoughts and ideas. And I found that typically after exercising, I have to run back to my journal and write down all these thoughts and ideas to bring miraculous results into my business or my clients, helping my clients in their business.
You are so right. You're so right. That's exactly because I started back exercising like I've needed to.
Mm-hmm.
But I started back exercising, and that is happening for me. And it's like, because I've been doing a lot of work, a lot of healing and a lot of, all of that. And so as I've been doing that, and then I started, back working out, and I'm doing like, modified stuff, and everything, because I'm older, I'm over 50.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm doing like I found this girl on YouTube that I follow that does like workouts for women over 40.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I think she's 55 or something, she said, or something. But anyway, she does these workouts, and they're like simple. They look really simple until you do them.
Yes.
But she does like a circuit. So like you do something for 30 seconds or a minute, or you do 3 sets of something for, whatever. And then you do like, it's like 4 or 5 exercises.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that, like every day, except for yesterday, I didn't do anything.
The
But most days
consistency.
I try to do 4 or 5 days a week of that. And I noticed that starts happening as well. I started getting these downloads, because typically get them. I usually get them a lot in bed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they wake me up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I get a lot of them in the tub because that's one of my other favorite places to be.
Yeah. Relaxing. Yeah.
Relaxing. I created this amazing
Peaceful.
bath soak that just takes away your aches and your pains and all of that
Oh,
stuff. So I'll get in the tub and do that. And so I'm like, okay, okay. But I notice with the exercising, it's like to another whole level,
yeah.
and,
Yep.
and
I've noticed that too.
yeah,
I
it's like,
actually have a miracle story tied in with that, with the actual physical well-being, if you'd like to hear.
I was going to say, please share.
Well, so about, I'd say 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I was really out of shape. I was quite overweight. I didn't run or move since high school that I could remember of doing any running or anything like that. But when I found myself having trouble fitting in the seats at the amusement park with my little one, or having trouble fitting through the tubes or anything with the playground, I started worrying. I said, I have this 3-year-old and it's hard to keep up with her.
Yes.
And I started worrying, well, and being concerned, well, I want to be around as she grows up, and I want to be around when she has children.
Yes.
And I don't know if I'm on the right track for that, because I'm already having trouble. And so with thought and prayer, I knew that needed to change. My health needed to change.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to a fitness studio, and I knew about this fitness studio because my little one was in a dance class next to it. And
Okay.
I saw these people running, these elite athletes running and rowing and lifting weights and doing all these amazing things. And I was intimidated. I hardly dared walk past that studio. But I gathered my courage, and with thought and prayer and inspired action, that I needed to at least try it. I needed to at least do something.
Yeah.
And so I showed up at their earliest morning class, 5 o'clock in the morning,
Oh,
thinking,
Jesus.
well, yeah, at least no one will see me if I trip and fall, and maybe I'll go by unnoticed. And so they strap a heart monitor on me, and I thought, oh, at least they're making sure that I won't redline it. No, all that was signed away with a waiver. They strapped a heart monitor on me to make sure that I would redline it, that I would push myself enough to
Oh,
really
okay.
get that
Okay.
heart rate up, up, up. And so I tentatively walked into this fitness studio, and I noticed the athlete on my right was sporting a t-shirt that said 50 to 100 kilometer run. And she looked the part for sure. And the athlete on my left was in her mid 60s, but was swiftly and quickly doing bench hopovers near triple my speed. And I just felt clunky and worried and stressed. But I did it. I stepped on that treadmill, and I'm sure it wasn't a run, but I jogged as best as I could. And what I found was, with that courageous action, these elite athletes rallied around me, and this coach did too. And I showed up again and again and again and again, 5 a.m., 6 days a week. After that first month, I wasn't sure if I had joined a fitness group or if I'd actually accidentally joined the Marines.
I was going to say a cult.
I was so sore. I couldn't move. My 90-year-old patients were passing me up, as a nurse. But I stuck with it, and I did that about 6 days a week for 2 years. And I lost 42 pounds, which was great. That wasn't miraculous, but it was great. And I felt a lot better, and continued with that. I felt earthly support with these athletes and coach, and heavenly support. I just felt heaven smiling down on me. Yeah, I was making some good choices that would affect my life and my family's life and my little daughter's life and her children's lives. And I could feel that power and help. And miraculously, within those 2 years, after those 2 years, I placed first place in the 1 mile run for women in my age group, in the 40s to 50s, and for all women. I placed first place in all women across all age groups in the 1 mile run.
That's
Now I must,
awesome.
yeah, now I must say, my friend who was sporting the 50 to 100 kilometers, the t-shirt, she didn't show up that day. Otherwise, I think
Okay.
she would have beat me. But I was thrilled. Out of all the women that showed up all throughout that day, I took first
Yeah.
place.
That's
And
awesome.
then I took first place in the 2,000 meter row, and I continue to take first place in the rowing contests in for women in my age group and for all women.
That is awesome, girl.
Miraculous. And then to top it off, I beat the head coach in one of the challenges, and she was not happy about that.
Of
But
course you
I
would.
was thrilled. Yeah. And
That
so
is so
those,
powerful.
yeah, miraculous results. Now, when I first stepped into that studio and onto that treadmill, I did not expect to win any contest ever, and any athletic. I just was trying to live through the experience, to survive through it. But can you see the consistent effort combined with earthly support rallying around you and heavenly support supporting, how it created results above and beyond, created miraculous results?
That is so powerful. That sounds like a recipe for success.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. And so that's literally in the physical self, placing first place of all women in running and rowing and stuff. And that was not to be expected 3 years ago or 4 years ago. But you can see it's above and beyond extraordinary results. And you can, using that
Yes.
same process, you can apply it to business. So it takes work and action, but those results, those actions are blessed and amplified and strengthened.
I was gonna say, I want you to say that again for the people in the back. Using the same processes you can apply,
Yeah,
but it takes
that's great. So
action.
yeah, very much so. So spiritual creation is a lot of fun. You know, you can spiritually create either out loud or in writing, and couple that with inspired action with physical creation, and ideally the inspired action, or so things that you need to do physically to move towards that goal. And heaven and earth, so combine that with prayer, heaven and earth seem to rally around you and create extraordinary results, just a miraculous results above and beyond what was expected.
That's so powerful because you know what I'm seeing is that people in this arena think that you can just pray and you can just script and you can just do your manifestation technique things, whatever. There's so many things you can do. But people in this space seem to think that you can just do that and you don't have to do anything.
Oh,
You just can pray all day. You can speak all day. You can stay in a positive vibrations all day, right?
yeah, but you probably won't get very far.
Right. And that's why I wanted you to say that again, because people need to hear that, there are things that you need to do.
Yep.
I
Tony
mean,
Robbins calls it massive action.
yes,
You brainstorm and take massive action. And Dean Graziosi, another highly successful entrepreneur, calls
yes,
it the 80%, 20% rule, where
yes,
you brainstorm everything you can do to go towards, we're speaking in business, go towards a business goal. And then you choose the 20%, the needle movers that really make a difference. I agree with both of those,
hmm
but you don't have to do everything. I like to call it inspired action, taking the inspired action that really propels towards that goal. And usually I found that inspired action usually is coupled with courageous action.
I was going to say, I was actually going to ask that.
It took a lot of, yeah, it took a lot of, for example, with the fitness group that I joined, it took a lot of courage. That the most courage was that first step, having to
Yes.
take that first step into the studio. And then it got easier. It wasn't always easy. It was very hard, but it did get easier over time.
See, and the thing is now you've created a habit.
Yep.
And you also enjoy it right now.
Oh, yeah, a lot more than 4 years ago.
And that's the point. Because I was telling somebody, I was like, the more I get into it, I enjoy it, but I also enjoy seeing, like, I also seeing my guns, because I work out with weights,
Yeah.
because I like that. And I'm I've always been built where I tell people, I said, when I work out with weights for 2 weeks, you can see the difference,
Yeah.
because my body just responds like that, because that's the way my body used to always be. And so it's like, now I'm getting to this place where I miss it if I don't do it. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't do it yesterday, but I was so freaking exhausted till it just was not the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And there are days like that.
I was beat down, and I looked at the one of my friends posted about 555 just popped up. One of my
Oh,
friends posted about the human resonance, what was going on with that,
oh,
which I don't really understand all that much, but
oh,
but the way she explained it was talking about the things that are going on in the whatever with the human resonance. And
okay.
it brings like heavy different type of energies and stuff like that. And so that's what was going on. And I said, oh, well, that makes sense. I said, because I was so exhausted yesterday, I wanted to do a live and I could not do it.
Yeah.
I was like, I
Yep.
can't. No, today's
Yep.
not that day. you know
That makes sense. And allowing, that balance and
yeah.
self-care in there. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's like,
So,
because I used to beat myself up about that.
oh,
Like, oh, I need to work out. I gotta work out because, I want to get this weight down for one thing. I want to release the weight.
mhm.
I lose it, I want to release it. And so it's like, okay, and then you're like, no, I can't do it today. I can't push through that. I
Yeah.
have to have that balance. And one thing I realize is you have to have boundaries with even yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
And
That's
that's
true.
that's the thing. So if you had to speak to somebody that was in the space where you were, as you were, trying to step into, to having your own business, what would you say to them?
Oh, let's see. So looking at Kennarae just a couple years back,
Yes.
um, definitely I would say keep keep prayer involved. Keep prayer involved for sure.
Yes.
And create that vision. And for me, writing really helps. When I write out a vision that I'd love to see, and I say vision, I mean a goal, a huge goal that you'd love in your business,
Mm-hmm.
and an outcome, a result that you would love to see. Write that and read that either out loud, but reflect on that day by day, and picture that. Don't forget that, because that vision has been given to you for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's not everyone sees that vision the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if a spouse or someone says, oh, that's just silly, that's okay, because they're not looking through the same glasses that you
Right.
are with vision. So trusting that and continuing to build and grow that, and reflecting on that day by day by day. And it's amazing what starts to come about just by focusing and remembering and keeping that focus on what you're creating, on what you're spiritually creating.
That is so powerful. That is so powerful. Oh, it's so powerful. Um, Share with the people where they can find you, where they can connect with you the best.
Mhm.
And also, if you have anything coming up that you are, trying to promote, you can share about that. And then any last words that you want to share to the audience as we land this plane.
Oh, sure. Well, thank you so much, and
You are so
for
welcome.
your gracious hospitality, and for letting me be here.
It's easy. I mean, especially with you, because you are so amazing. I
Oh,
absolutely love your spirit. It's like, I almost feel like, we have a kindred soul, because it's like
yeah.
your spirit is just amazing. And the fact that you're where I was, as far as, in the world,
Mhm. Yeah.
that always is something, because I was like, Arizona, I was there,
Yeah. Yeah. We're on the same stomping grounds. Both
right? And called there as well. So like I knew I was called there when I went, because so much happened when I went.
Yeah. The best way to find me is on Facebook. My Facebook group, our Facebook group is Online Entrepreneurs Who Love Miracles. And hands down, that's the fastest, most easiest, direct way to find me is through our Facebook group, Online Entrepreneurs Who Love Miracles. And our upcoming events are free. They're virtual dinner parties. They're highly connecting and fun events. And so if you want to meet other successful entrepreneurs who are heart-centered and who love miracles, that's the best place to find us, is our virtual dinner parties. And
I got to catch the next one.
Oh, it's so fun. And like I said, at the end, I found that these entrepreneurs linger. Like, people crave this, especially entrepreneurs who believe in a higher power. It's not any specific religion, but
Right.
to acknowledge a higher power. And it's just when we find each other and we're in a group together, such as our events, then they just want to linger and they cherish it. And
Yeah,
I'm
because
happy.
it's when you cultivate a space like that, especially for spiritual entrepreneurs, because woo, it can be something. It's what I'm gonna
That's true.
say.
I hands down, I am so inspired by the people in our group. They're successful. They're some of the kindest, most heart-centered people I've ever met in my life. And it's just such an honor to be among them and be around them.
That's amazing, right?
I love it. And any last words that I'd like to share? Welcome, first of all, welcome, especially if you're a heart-centered entrepreneur who acknowledges a higher power. There's a place, a warm, welcome, wide place for you, that a home for you here in our community. And never underestimate how powerful a creator you are. And in spiritually, those key steps in spiritually creating, and then combining that with key action, inspired action. And if you don't feel, you don't know which action is inspired, then choose any action, but forward action towards that. You'll find out soon enough.
I love it.
But I didn't know, as a nurse working nighttime shifts, I had no idea how to create that vision that I created of being a vacation nurse, having one patient and working as a nurse for a really wealthy family and traveling with them. I had no idea how to create that. I was like, well, at least I can talk about it. So that was my action. And I didn't know if it was inspired or not. I just started talking about it.
Oh,
and
that is powerful.
Yeah, lo and behold. So don't get tripped up on, is this inspired or not? If you're not sure, then just take the action. Any action is better than just sitting there and not. Yeah, then no action. And so, and lo and behold, within 2 weeks, I had a number for this really great family, the number to their personal assistant, and soon became one of their nurses. And then soon after that, through diligent service, became their vacation nurse.
That is awesome. And that was so important what you said. I know we got to land the plane, but I really needed to talk about this. What you said as far as the action. Now, so many people in these spaces, let's say, want to pray, and they want to meditate, and they want to call it in, and energetically, and all these things. But even an inspired action could be talking about it. So that's another thing I wanted to just capitalize on, that because that is powerful. Even in and of itself is the fact that you are talking about it. So to me, that means that you're secure in putting it out there, because a lot of times we journal on things and we think about things, but we're scared to put it out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Start talking about it.
Yes. So that's like powerful. That's a powerful inspired action that will create miracles, right?
Oh, yes. I thought about writing a book. I did end up writing a chapter on this, how I created my dream job in 3 weeks. Create your dream job in 3 weeks. Well,
yeah, you need to write your own book.
it was that process of, and now, I'm a business owner. I don't have a job. I'm an owner of a business. But back as a new nurse, relatively new nurse, I wanted a dream job, and lo and behold, it came about, and through this process, this very process.
Yeah, you need to write your own book. So that is so inspiring. I mean, just listening to you lights me up. It's like, oh my God, that actually can happen, because a lot of times people don't realize that actually can happen, that you can actually create your dream job, or you can create your life. And I'm here for it, because that's what I'm doing too. I'm like, I had a girl, I was watching a girl on Facebook live, and she was doing readings or something. And she said to me, because typically sometimes I get, sometimes I don't. But that day I said, yeah, I would like to have one. So she said to me, what do you want? She said, the angels want to know, what do you want? They want you to get clear on what it is that you desire. And once you get clear on that, then they're going to send you the instructions in order to do whatever it is that you desire to do. And I was like, it's kind of powerful.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Right? But I started, writing it down, and then I started talking about it, and that's why I wanted to bring that out, because I feel like so many people discount that part of it.
Yeah.
They're thinking the Tony Robbins massive action thing, and we're like, no, sometimes it doesn't have to be like in that way. But I think when I think of massive action, I think of consistent action.
Yep. Consistent, and I really like that with choosing the needle movers or inspired action. What one action would make a difference towards that goal?
Yes, that is so powerful. All right, so we have successfully landed this plane. It has been such an amazing ride that I've had with Kennarae. It's been just an awesome conversation, and I hope that you were able to get something out of it, because she dropped so many gems and jewels, y'all. She was fire. So if you are looking for, what she has, make sure that you reach out to her and connect with her. And if you are an online entrepreneur who loves miracles, come on and join the group, because it's fire. So, so we definitely want to do that. And I'm super excited to have her on the show. And I'm so grateful that she made time out of her busy schedule to come and hang out with us. So if you would love to follow her, I will have all of her links and stuff in the show notes, where you can find her and everything. And, we'll have this show up shortly. I think this will premiere on July 1st. Yes, this one will premiere on July 1st on my YouTube channel. So make sure that you are following and watching for that. So again, thank y'all for hanging out. Thank you for joining us on Straight Out of Savannah.
Thank you. And thank you, Tammi. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for coming, Kennarae. This was amazing.
Oh, this was fun. Thank you.
I know you've been blown away with the amazing value here today. Now go out and inspire the planet. And be sure to send us a message when you're ready to come talk about it on Straight Outta Savannah, Talking with Tammi.